Hi guys, welcome to the Patron to the Pentadog team in Barula Game Reserve. It's time for our Animal World Live. Let's start!
That's great.
Hi guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. It's, as you can see, today I'm all alone. Actually, it's a lie. We have Brian right in front of me as a camera. Hello. And then also Wium at the back, because now we have a FC in our studio. And we also have some gallery. So yeah, actually I'm not alone. But unfortunately, Brent was too busy today and couldn't make it. So I'll be hosting by myself and spending time with you guys. And today it's actually a lot of stuff to talk about. Okay, maybe some of you guys found that it's quite zoomed in on me because there's actually a lot of stuff around me that I want to show you later, but it's a secret for now. So I'm just keeping it as a secret. Maybe you can see just the edge of it down there, over here, over yeah, there. So yeah, it's a secret, so just stay tuned. We will show it to you guys. But let's see who is here. Oh, 38 people watching. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Hi, Betty, Kalena, Rosalind, Barbara. Sorry, I mixed up the order. But Catherine, Jason, Shezi Booney. Hi, thank you so much for saying hi to me. And to the Brian and Wium, of course. So yeah, so today our main focus will be obviously talking about the Rhino dehorning that we broadcasted. That was last week Monday. Hey, last week Monday, yeah. So we will be, talking about it and then going through it with you guys. But before that, as we always do, we're gonna go to the live cam section. So I'm gonna show you guys some clips from the live cam we have in our reserve and neighboring reserve, and show you guys some cool stuff. So let's see. This is being selected by me and then our new member of our pack, Dylan. I'm sure you guys will see him soon. We selected these videos, and then Wium will be choosing which one to show amongst those ones. So let's see what's the first one. So this is the critter cam, which is literally in our garden right next to our studio. And you guys know this animal, I'm sure. This is our cutie, Janet. This Janet literally comes to the critter cam almost every night. It's really safe to say almost every night because she's really there all the time. And smelling around, sniffing around, and she's just gonna walk off, showing this beautiful tail. And this time she didn't catch anything. Sometimes she literally, get food all around here. So she always looks very nice and fat. Yeah, it's beautiful creatures. They are nocturnal animals, so if you are out on the safari in Africa, you'll most likely see them during the night drives, maybe when you go out on the safari at night. And then during the night safari in Africa, we use the spotlight. So at night, when you're out on safari, you don't look for the shape of the animal, you gotta look for the eye reflex. So when you scan through the bushes with a spotlight, you often see this really bright eye shines coming through the small, like in the bushes in the ground, which will often be the genet. So if you have a opportunity, just keep your eyes out. It can be your genet, but yeah, you don't always get to see it because they're so nocturnal. So it's really amazing to have this kind of camera to observe their natural behavior without them knowing that we are actually having a sneak peek of them. So which is awesome. Let's go to the next camera. There you go. This is another video from the same camera. Now it's during the day. Let's see what time it is. It's from like around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Just a cuddly tree squirrel is walking past by, But actually this video is one of my favorites. You guys have to watch this. It's gonna be really, really cute from here. And now coming closer to the camera, sniffing, sensing something. Look at just like looking right into us. It's just so cute. And now it's gonna disappear, but just wait for it. Yeah, Jason, squirrel. Yeah, this is really cute. And came back with a friend. How cute is this? And they play around. They groom each other. We also often see tree squirrels on the virtual safari as well and get to see their really cute behaviors. I think now they sensed something, stood on its back feet, trying to look around, and then it's gonna disappear. So this was really, really cute little clip from the critter cam. This is really my favorite. So the tree squirrel actually really do have like a family bond. So they do have an anal gland that they secretes the little, like a liquid almost, the secretion, and they will rub it against each other on their bodies. So they actually, each tree squirrel can recognize their family members. So if the other family member is nearby, they will just play like, play around like this, cuddle and groom each other. It's very cute. And if there was other member of the family is kind of, intervening that area, then they can also get quite vocal. They will like make alarm call trying to, ward off all these other member of the family in his territory. So even looking this cute little creature can also have a sense of territory, holding their own land. It's very cute. Yeah, like Jason just said, tree squirrels hide their nuts in, but chances of them finding them again are very low. Yeah, like we often see that kind of stuff on animation movie as well. It's very cute. Sorry, I missed one question. The Betty was saying, did the site with all cameras together go away? Is that true, Bill? It says, did the site with all cameras together go away?
Come back.
Oh, BM says, okay. BM says it's gonna come back. Thank you for the question, Betty. It's gonna come back. BM is on it. So stay tuned. I'm sure it will come back very soon. But let's go to the next video. You see this cool shadow is coming through. A little silhouette. It's our giraffe. It's a boy, definitely. It's a male, casually walking past. So this is the elephant cam. So this is the cam that is literally standing in front of our house. So when you see the little puddle on the elephant cam, on the puddle there is literally the end of our property where our house is. So where we and Brian, Brent, we all stay in this property, and there's a little water puddle, and that's where the camera stays. So it's literally right in front of our house. And now it's summertime, so there's a lot of puddles everywhere. But during the winter time, when the water source is limited, a lot of animals get attracted to it. So it's really fortunate to have the camera right there, catching all these animals coming past by. Hello, Guga, long time no see. So yeah, the elephant cam has been very exciting one. I think we have quite a few more videos from this camera, and I think the next one there you go. You can see now already. So this is the breeding herd of ellies came past by at 9:30 at night. Hi Kuga, we are going through the live cam clips that's hidden in the bushes. So the animals don't know that we've been taking the videos on, but we get to see their natural behavior without any human intervention, which is very cool. And at the moment, there's cute little 2 elephants at the elephant camp waterhole, which is in front of our house actually. And this is so cute to watch all these, baby ellies, because maybe they're around maybe like 6 months old, maybe a little bit more, but their age, like 6 months old, that's the time they're still trying to figure out, trying to master how to use their trunks. Obviously, adult knows exactly how to use it, but it's the elephant trunk is such a complex part of their body. Like there's so many muscle strips is making that trunks, so that they can move it in the way they want, really freely. They can bend it in a way, they can pick up the tiny stuff. Yes, totally, elephants. So those elephants' trunks are very like a complex part of their body. So for the baby elephants, they still have to learn how to use it, and then they do so by looking at their mom. So they will look at the adults and then trying to learn how to use their trunks. And I think that was the age they were still trying to learn how to. So this is the next video from the same elephant camp. And this time it's very exciting because 2 out of the big 5 is gathered on the one pond. You can see buffalo got alerted because I think elephants didn't see the buffalo was having a spa there, like a nice water spa there. And the elephant came in and they got a little flight when he realized that there's a buffalo bull is literally having a mud bath there. I think the buffalo was like, oh, is it still coming? Is it still coming? Oh, now I have to stand up. Oh no, kind of moment is happening there. You can see elephant backed off a little bit. So it's you can see there's a tension definitely happening in the air in this camp. I wish if I was watching this live. This is very cool to watch it. 2 out of the big 5 in the one shot, having a little moment. Which one was this now? We'll see what's gonna happen in this video. Oh, this is the cool one, guys. Keep checking. Look at this one. Do you guys know this individual? I think if you have been following the painted dog, maybe you have seen this awesome, magnificent guys. Now VM pauses for us. Look at this long tusk. So he's one of the super tuskers. So in Africa, there's actually 11 officially registered super tuskers, and he's actually one of them. So to have him in this property is really, really special. Julie, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. I had an amazing birthday on the Pride Land. Thanks to everybody here. Yes, it's Iziluwini. Well done. So he's called Iziluwini. He's a super tusker that has actually, this is a very cool story about Iziluwini. Did you guys know the first elephant that came in this Boston Pride Lands area was the Iziluwini. He was the first elephant ever actually walked in after the fence has been dropped with the Greta Kruger side. And he was the first one casually came in from the literally northeastern corner of the property. That's where he came in first. And he was the first elephant to stand on this ground after 104 years of absence of elephants. So it's a very actually cool story that he was actually first one to come on this property, which I only found out quite recently from the landowner. So I found it a very cool story. He is massive, and I think he's not that crazy old yet. I would assume, obviously it's very difficult to age the animals exactly, but I would assume he's like 35 years old. I don't know, maybe some people say maybe a little bit less or more, but somewhere around there. So that the wild elephants can live up to 60, sometimes even more. So he still has a long way to go if he can still didn't have any human intervention. So that would be very cool to observe him, how he will develop even bigger, because he's already massive. So I'm very excited to watch. Barbara, exactly. I found it so interesting that he was the first one, and he is so. It's perfect name. Elephant has a nickname called Gentle Giant, and for Iziluwini, that's the perfect name. He is so gentle, but can be a little bit naughty. He will come very close to your vehicle. He sometimes even try to touch the vehicle or kind of lean against the vehicle. So he can be quite naughty, but he's not doing it from the aggression. He's just generally, he's just doing it because he can, but not to try to cause any, aggressions or tensions or anything like that. So it's having Iziluwini around you, it's a very special moment. I just have to say this. So maybe when you get to go on a virtual safari, you'll get to have some time with Iziluwini. It's very cool. Let's go to the next. Do we have more videos? Yeah. Let's go to the next video. Yay, it's more Ellie's, but do you guys know where the location is? I think a lot of you guys can recognize this location. This is the hyena den in Pride Lands, and this is during the middle of the day, so like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So probably the 3 cubs that we have in this clan are probably sleeping inside the halls. And this massive bull decided to come have a visit at the hyena den and feeding on all these trees around it. It's very cool. I don't know, before the elephants are alive, I wonder if the hyena was out or not, but if they were, I'm sure they will run into the hole. Because the elephants actually like to kind of chase the predators off around them. So especially like the lions, when there's a lion around, elephants often trying to chase those lion pride away from them. So if there was a hyenas, probably hyena don't wanna have any issues with them. So they will probably run back into. Oh, just took the whole branch of the prunoides. It's called the purple pot cluster leaf. That's the name of this tree, and it has a very nice green leaves and the purple pot that has a seed in it. And the elephant just took the whole bunch chunk of it. I think it made actually a little bit more clear view, don't you think? Thanks to the elephant. I think he put like a branch that was kind of a little blocking the view. So now I think we have an even bigger flame to look through. Thanks, elephant. Yeah, Tony, that's very true. Imagine how heavy the elephants are. So maybe some of you guys were quite worried if all those holes gonna collapse, but luckily it didn't. Remember, this termite in this hyena den is made out of termite mound. So all termite mounds still have the holes left behind. The animals make use of it. So termite mound is really, really hard structure. It's almost like a concrete. It's super hard. So actually nothing like, one elephant probably won't make it that much of damage. Jason, maybe if you're talking about the tree that elephant was just feeding, that was called purple pot cluster leaf. Yeah, shame, Kuga. Hyena must have been very scared if they were there. But luckily they didn't seem to be out there. From the videos that we can see. Was this the video with the little snack? This is now. Oh, thank you, Vim. So this is the video right now. They're active. Yeah, it's 7:16. That's right now. How cool is this? I can see a few of them were in the front. Sorry, I didn't quite get what was happening. Yeah, that was live now. You can see the ones moving on the left as well. Okay. It's funny, really, these guys. They really come out from the hole when there's a vehicle there, just to check out who's there. It's really cute. And this is even more special because the mom came back with the little snacky. I love this video. It's quite a huge snack to come back with. So this is 6 o'clock in the morning. So probably all the adults has been out on the field looking for some food, and probably these hyena got something and then came back with the snack for the babies. So the babies still drink the smaller cubs, especially. There's 2 smaller cubs and 1 bigger one. Maybe 1 bigger one will start feeding on some bones and things like that. But they still, especially the smaller cubs, they still drink milk from the mom. So that's their main food source still. But this time of the age, they will actually start chewing on these, snack that the mother, adults will bring, and then start learning how to kind of, play with all these bones and skins and things like that. So that kind of age, they will start feeding on that kind of stuff, but still drinks milk, of course. But yeah, I don't know, it looks like there's a lot of them now, right now. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 on the right, 1 on the left. Well, I don't know, from you guys, it's a different. No, it must be same. Right, 4 on the right. It's very cool. Oh, Shane, Tony, thanks for the information. Especially when apparently when the elephants visited yesterday, cub was actually outside and then torn between running into nearby bush. Oh, shame. So shame. So the cubs were out when the elephant visited. Thank you so much, Tony, for information. I didn't know that. Shame. Must have had a fright. And is there any other comments? The hyena look great and ugly at the exact same time. I think they're cute because people call hyena one of the ugly 5. And, okay, maybe adults can maybe have an ugly moment when they are full of blood on the face. But I think generally that hyenas are very cute, personally, because I love them. But yeah, was there another video from the hyena den? Okay, now this was the old video from the hyena den. Now this is the time for you guys to show what's around me, because this is very exciting. Let's see. Are you zoomed out, Brian? Okay, Brian is zooming out. You're gonna see more now. Ta-da! Do you guys see all this stuff around me? Looks like I just moved in here. But This is all the stuff that the donators for the live cam has paid for actually. So all this equipment we could get it thanks to all you guys who has donated the money for the live cam fundraising. Thank you so much. There's so much stuff, so I don't even know how to start explaining what's what. But this one, the Brian's showing now, this is the infrared, so that we can even see at night. And this one is apparently the camera that we can use at night, but you can still see in color. I didn't even know that was possible to do that. It's so cool. And then this is also a camera, but some camera are still not allowed to tell you exactly what camera, because it's gonna be very cool one, has to be surprised. So you'll find out probably soon from them. And this is the charger stuff, and this is the, how do you call it? Microwave dishes. And then the batteries, 2 batteries, the stuff, 2 boxes. Okay, this was a balancing game earlier, so I can't crash this. And then this was also SUP or something, USB, UPS, I was close enough, UPS, and all the stuff that will make us able to keep feeding the feed even when there's a load shedding. So in South Africa, maybe some of you guys don't know this issue we have in South Africa, but we have a lot of power outage out in here, not just in the bush, even in the city. It's just a nation thing because of our private power supply company. So that actually used to cause us a lot of issues with the battery for the Rhino den, and a lot of hassles, and sometimes the feed got cut off. But all these things that you guys actually funded for us will make us possible to keep showing the live cam for you guys. So it will be amazing. Thank you so much, guys. I think the Charles has all the list of you guys who has donated for us, and I think there is a credit that's there right now. Thank you, Wim. Brian made this graphic for us. So thank you so much to all of you guys that's on the credits now who donated all this equipment for us to make sure that we can show you guys the best possible hyena den as possible. Thank you so much. We are very excited. It's going to be a lot of big project for Vim to test out the kids and make sure it will work out. But I am really excited to be surrounded by this many, I don't know how, like devices, I would call it. Yeah, thanks Julie for also saying it with us. Thank you once again, to all of you guys who made all this equipment possible for us to be able to use in the bush. So I really appreciate it. Exactly. Hopefully there will be much less issues and no more maybe issues related to the cams now. Yay. Yeah, really high five to all of you guys who donated this. Thank you so much. Yay, that's your name. Your name was on the list. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. So I think it's going to be even more exciting time is waiting for us with the Hyena Den. But I think that is all with the Hyena Den. Tonight was a very exciting moment to show all of the equipment we got. And then now Vim is on a mission to make this work. So stay tuned. And now remember today, sorry, I talked too much now with the Hyena Den, but today our main focus was to talk about the rhinos. So let's go to that. But Brian made a very nice clip for us to show you guys how exactly the rhino dehorning happened. So this rhino dehorning happened last week, Monday. Was a lot of you guys also sponsored for us. So thank you very much to all of you who donated money for our rhino dehorning operation last week. And also some people from Japan also paid lots of donation to our operation. So thank you so much to wherever you are in the world. And then that happened. We actually did it for 2 days. The first day we were out in the field from maybe we left here even before 5 and then started looking for rhino from 6. But unfortunately later weather wasn't really the best and then we couldn't really look for the rhinos nicely from the helicopter. So it was a kind of failure on the first day. But on the second day we get to actually find the 7 rhinos and dehorned 6 rhinos, sorry. One rhino in the first day, 6 rhinos in the second day. So there's a lot of rhinos we could actually dehorn, and we like to share those moments with you guys in case you guys missed it on the free-to-air broadcast of the rhino dehorning. So let's have a look what Brian has put up for us.
So this is one of the lucky five, the 5 orphans. So their mothers were poached, and Rhino Revolution came in and kept them in an orphanage, and they were released together. So there's 5 orphans together. Absolutely incredible. And
So yeah, so this was how our day went on Monday, and I'm sure maybe a lot of you guys were also with us through this broadcast when we were actually operating in the field in a Risport Game Reserve. But as many of you guys said here, it's poor rhinos. Obviously, it's not a nice experience for rhinos, of course not, but it is kind of the measure we have to take at this point to protect this species. So if I explain this rhino dehorning, what's the procedure for this? Is that, as you can see now, the rhinos were being searched from the helicopter, and in South Africa legally the vet has to be the one to dart the shot. So the vet is also up in the air in the helicopter and try to look for rhinos. When we find them, we will dart from the air. And also the pilot, we had Jelly. He's very amazing at what he does, and he kind of also trying to navigate the rhinos to where the open spot is. So it's easier for us in the ground team. We'll be able to work on the rhinos. So he's really amazing what he does. He will literally do all these acrobatic stuff in the air to make sure the rhino is heading to the right spot. Also to have a signal where we can do this broadcast. So it was a lot of things we have to consider to make this live broadcast with the dehorning go nicely and safely. But fortunately, all the rhinos, we could get the signal, and they also were in darted in the right spot. And now after that, the ground team will run to the rhino and then trying to kind of make sure the rhino sits in the right position. So when you dart the rhino, it really is a strong dosage. So they started getting dizzy and then start to tumble. But if they fall in the wrong side and sit in the wrong side, they can pressure all these organs on the one side, and it is a mission. So you don't want to have that risk. So we have to make sure like maybe even more than 10 people have to be there to push the rhino and make sure they sit in the right position so that it's not pressuring anywhere, or how do you say, the breathing, anything like that. And then we put the eye cover and the ear cover, and this is, you can see Jackie is putting the water on because it can be very hot out in the field, and then also heat is one of the biggest fear we have when we do the dehorning. So heat is a very big threat to us, so we make sure put the water on to regulate the rhino temperature cool. So then after doing all the stuff, then we put actually a little bit of reverse drug to make sure the rhino becomes kind of a little awake so that he can breathe on his own. And obviously we also still supply the oxygen, but we have to make sure that he's breathing on his own, and then the vet will keep checking the heart rate and everything to make sure that he is safe while we operate. You can now see the put in the eye cover, and then you can see the cute little earbud is in his ears. So because he's a little awake, so that he can breathe on his own, he still feel all these stimulations. So that's why we want to cover all this stuff to make sure he can be as calm as possible. And after that's done, now we can actually start the dehorning. Then vet will come in with the chainsaw and then make sure from where you can cut. It's normally about the 4 fingers, and then from the bottom you set the 4 fingers, and then you make kind of line with the chalk, and you can kind of see the yellow chalk. I don't know if you can. And then that's where the guy will try to aim with the chainsaw. So this is actually the farm manager is doing this chainsaw work, and then the vet is right next to him, advising him where you can do. So the rhino horn, actually, it's starting with the germinal layer. So even after cutting some rhino horns, there will be still some rhino horn stub left, but we want to make sure that it is as less as possible, but also don't want to hurt the rhino. So it's really fine line that we are working on. If you cut too deep, then you hit the germinal layer, and underneath there's blood vessels. So you actually start seeing little blood coming out through the, I think you could see the black spot in the middle. That's where the blood start coming out. So you don't want to make it too deep, but I want to make it as less as possible. So then after the chainsaw, that is the reason why we use the grinder to make sure the portion of the horn left is as little as possible. You can see we do it on both horns. Now the vet is working on grinding. So this is the time actually the rhino's face becomes white because so much powder comes out to you. I think I inhaled this so much rhino horn powder on this day actually. So then now we do it very nicely, make sure it's not painful, but it's as less as possible. And this actually takes more time than actually cutting the horns off. But in general, in total, all operation takes maybe like 20 minutes actually, from the darting to the point that we can wake him up. So we make sure that all these procedures go as quickly as possible, because we don't want to put too much pressure on the rhinos, obviously. So all the ground in the team is focused on making sure rhinos are safe, and this gets done as quick as possible. So after doing that, make sure the grinding is done. Then now, because that's after the grind, it can be really, really dry, and it can start cracking as well. And obviously we don't want to have that either. So that's why now we put some like oil, I would say, like oil, to like a moisturizer almost on the grinded rhino horn, to make sure it's nice and moisture so it doesn't get cracked. And now you are ready to, before that, you also have to make sure this rhino is done dehorning. So like on this day, we did 6 rhinos. So after doing the 1 rhinos, you still have to look for more rhinos. And then from the air, it can be very, very confusing which rhino has been done, which was not. And every split second is very precious up in the air. So that's why maybe you have seen this on this video. On the rhino back, you can see there is an orange paint. Let's see if you can see on this one. Okay, now the guy is trying to put the rhinos in the right position. So maybe it hasn't been done yet. But on some other rhinos, you can see there is an orange paint on the back. And a lot of you guys have asked also on the day, what is the paint for? Is to make sure that we can see from the air which rhino has been done. And then now all the procedure is done. Now we can put the proper reverse drugs in to wake him up. And after putting the reverse drugs, it's actually very quick for him to wake up. Maybe like a few minutes. It was very quick. After putting the drugs in, within a few minutes, he will start waking up. You can start seeing like ear moves even more. You'll see the ears start moving more, and start breathing up, and start to put the heads up and trying to stand up. You can now see he's really waking up. That's I can't remember how many number of the rhino we did on this one. I think this was either 4th one or 5th one. But he started to wake up now. Then now he stood up. You can now see the orange paint on the back as well. And he's kind of confused probably. But remember, this is a painful process. It's exactly same as your nails and hairs. So there is no nerve. So it's probably, they will feel discomfort of being, using the grinders on the face and things like that. So it's really like a dentist, I would assume. But I hate dentists. So I'm sure these rhinos also probably don't like this experience. But now he's kind of confused, and I'm like, oh, this again kind of feeling probably. And then now rhino will start make more awake, and then eventually they all go back in the bush safely. I think this one is a little more confused. Some stays there quite long, and some goes back into the bush quite quickly. It all depends on the individuals and the time, and then the situations. Yeah, he stood there for a while. Sinak, yes, so they have been darted beforehand when we do the dehorning, but we do wake them up a little bit so that they can breathe on their own. And as you guys have been discussing, the belief about the rhinos and stuff like that, is that the reason why that we have to do this is obviously because the poaching is such an issue in South Africa at the moment. So this is the really last resort. We don't want to do this if we don't have to. Obviously, rhino is there, with the reason, with the horns in the wild. So human intervention like this, obviously, is not ideal. But at this point, we're losing like 2 rhinos every day. So that's how it is, hey? 2 rhinos every day. So that's how crazy the amount is, and that's why it's going really close to the extinction. Especially the black rhinos. There's like 5,000 left, and like at this point we have to buy some time. Like all this issue is because of the demand in the black market in Asia. Maybe some people in China especially believe this medicine that's made of the rhino horn will work for cancers, AIDS, and some even believe that will work for hangovers, and just in general will enhance the health. So that's what they believe and has been believing for a long time. So it's very difficult to also change their mindset as well. But also in Vietnam, the people buy it as like a decoration. So it's like a status to have the rhino horn decoration in the house. So like wealthy people in those areas will try to buy those stuff just to show how rich they are, kind of thing. So as a decoration, it's also seeked in East Asian countries. So that kind of the reason is why there is such a high demand. And I think the price of the rhino horn is like $300,000 per horn. So the one horn is like 4 to 6 kilos in average, and that's how much it's worth. So it's a crazy amount of money, and that is the reason why people, bad people who do this criminal gang, international criminal gang in the back, or like also they're heavily involved with the corruptions. So all this social problem is combined with this demand, causing this issue in the field. So at this point, all this social problem takes time to be solved, and we can't wait for it to be solved. Just looking at keep watching the rhinos being killed. So that's why we have to do this last measure to cut the horns off safely before the poachers get to it, so that we can have we can buy more time before they go extinct. So a lot of people, some people are still against the rhino dehorning because it's really not natural. But at this point, a lot of reserved practice this because they have to make sure that there will still be rhinos left in 10 years time also. Some people say education is key. Definitely, education is really key. And they say, I think I also saw them comments about them believing as a medicinal use kind of things. It's also a difficult issue because obviously those people that live in China, they don't have as much access to the internet as we normally assume. It's all managed by the government, but still they are actually advertising. They use like a Jackie Chan, that very famous actor in Asia. They use him to advertise the rhino horn is just the nails, and they make nice adverts, and they are putting those stuff out there. But still, it's scientifically proven because it's a keratin that what the rhino horn is. There's no medical use or medical effect on it, but it's sickness often combined with the mentalness, like a mental status. So when they are so worried about the health, and when they take this rhino medicine, because they are so relieved that they took that medicine, actually, sickness can get a little improved mentally, because mentally they are feeling better. And that kind of mental status can affect on the actual health, physical, status as well. So that's why also difficult to also prove that doesn't work. It's scientifically proven that doesn't have any effect, but some people can still get better because they just so believe in it and mentally makes it better. So that's also a reason why it can be quite tricky in terms of educations. But I believe in general, people have to talk more about it in Asia. I'm sure you guys, maybe this can be a common topic to you guys, but in Japan, from my experience, it's not common topic at all, actually. I personally, I'm really ashamed to say this, but I didn't know about this until I came to Africa for the first time. So there's a lot of people in Japan, they still don't know that the rhino is being even poached, and even that has been imported to Asia. And maybe Chinese people are using that. Maybe they can maybe imagine that rhino is being killed somewhere. But in Japan, we don't even see the rhino horns that's being imported at the moment. So it's really difficult for people in Asia to understand what's happening out in the field in Africa. So I think the key is that people have to know about it more and have to talk about it more, especially like this event is really amazing because now we can share this dehorning live anywhere in the world. And this time we did it free to air, but I also did it to the Japanese donators. So then they will talk amongst them to the other people in Japan. Now word spreads out. So the more people know about it, more people talk about it, and the government also makes the law even more strict about all these illegal trade on the wildlife. So it's just in general, it's very important that people talk about this and it becomes a common topic in our daily life. So that's what I'm trying to aim for. That's why I want to convey more message from Africa to my people in my country. I think that's what I can do as my part because I can speak Japanese and I'm Japanese. So that's what I'm aiming for. But I mean, it's not just about Japan. Anywhere in the world, I think people should talk more about it to bring more awareness up. Sorry, I haven't been actually following the chats too much. I was talking too much now. Let's see what you guys have been saying. But I can't remember if there was in general, I don't know, wait, I thought I saw it somewhere talking about the negativity on rhino dehorning, but sorry, I can't find it now anymore. But it is, like I said, it is a last resort, and there can be a negative side. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. Where was it? I thought I saw it. Maybe you guys can help. But hold on. Well, anyway, so the negative part can be actually, the thing is that the rhinos can still be poached, which is true. So in South Africa, there has been a report of the dehorned rhino still being poached by the poachers because there is still a little stub left. But also, as a poacher's perspective, they have to walk so much distance at night in the reserve, trying to hide away, not using too much torch. And finally, after all this effort, they found a rhino and they realized that rhino is hornless. And that's, if you are a poacher, you don't want to have that. So actually they shoot it anyway so that they don't have to track down the same rhino again that doesn't have a horn anymore. So that can be also a reason why they still kill the rhino even after that is dehorned, but also they still go for that little left. So yes, that is, we have to admit that there is some risks. These, dehorned rhino can be poached. But what's most important is that the security has to be implemented as well. You can't just do all the dehorning on the rhinos and have no security. It really doesn't work. The dehorning is only effective when there is a proper security is there. The security system is up there. So the anti-poaching is very important. All the patrols have to happen. Like where the reserve we did the dehorning, they have a really amazing system going on. They constantly check the rhinos' behavior, where the rhinos are, even through the live cams. So that kind of security has to be there to make sure this dehorning works nicely. Sorry, I couldn't find where the exact comment was, but I just wanted to mention that yes, there is some negativity on it, like still a risk to it, even to the dehorned rhinos, but with the improved security, it will work really, really the best. But I think today is the best time to thank all of you guys who donated this all money to make this operation possible, and I really, really appreciate that you guys are there to talk with us today. And I also want to say thank you to all the people in Japan who also paid for this. And I think it's really amazing, like this direction is going, that we can do this event live, with the painted dog, that we can spread all this message with the actual experience virtually with you guys. So I think there's a lot we can do, not just maybe with rhinos, maybe we can do with some more other animals. So I think there'll be a lot of exciting stuff coming this year. Hey, Bien? Yeah? So there'll be a lot of stuff for you guys to also look forward to, and hopefully there's a lot of, the hyena cam will also be implemented. We'll do more virtual safaris. So there will be a lot of chance opportunities that we will be able to talk with you guys live. And am I forgetting something? Yeah. So then in the last, I just want to show you the very clip that being also put together by Brian, and as to finish off the topic of the rhino dehorning. And I think we can send it to the video.
Part of the broadcast from Monday.
That is the part of the broadcast from the last week Monday. Yeah, so I will show you guys the part of the broadcast of the last time when we did the free to air. Those who have missed it, oh, thank you so much, Jason. I really, really appreciate it. So let's just have a look on this clip from Brian from the last time we did on the dehorning on Monday.
Their mothers were poached, and Rhino Revolution came in and kept them in an orphanage, and they were released together. So there's 5 orphans together. Absolutely incredible. And Dr. Pete Rogers has been working on them since they arrived. So there's the man who pops the darts up in the tree. He's got the mask on because he's got to actually get very close to all those fine fumes or fine flakes that are going to be coming out while the rhino's being dehorned. Okay, we're trying to remove some thorn trees so everyone can work safely. And there's Anna, who you guys know from Rhino Revolution. So she's getting all the documentation done. We're going to make sure the chips are all working. So all rhinos have chips in them, just in case something happens to them. No worries. Okay, so there we go, guys. Beautiful. Big boy, young bull. Anna, how old is he? Anna's busy. We'll find out in a second. So he's doing measurements, and then you might notice there's a little bit later. How old is he, Anna? And who is this?
This is Ringo.
Ringo.
Commonly known as Fatty.
Fatty. And how old is Ringo?
Ringo, I'll have to double check on that for you.
But guess.
He's about 4 or 5 years old.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
So in very good condition looking at him, Mr. Fatty. Now you'll see there's earplugs in his ears. That's obviously to minimize his stress. There's a lot of noise around these type of operations, obviously, because we have to use a chainsaw. Quite carefully exactly where to cut with the chainsaw. Now if you cut below that, there's a growing point and blood vessels, so we've got to be very, very careful.
People tell me that
6, 4,
Closer
6.
to 6 or 7, yeah.
Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Okay, so we're going to start. Everyone's going to get ready for a bit of noise. We might take a step back, or I'll take a step back so I can keep talking you through it while Brian brings you the images. Now, as stressful as this is, it's really, really important. Only one of the many measures we use to keep rhinos safe. Dr. Rob, indeed a chainsaw. It's the fastest and most efficient way to actually get the horn off. We use a chainsaw first, and there we go. You can actually see there. And then also with the chainsaw, let me just go grab that quickly. Well, we'll have a look once the guys are done. I'll show you a close-up of the horn. And then after the chainsaw is being used, we'll actually use a grinder and to grind that horn as low as possible. Now, of course, the reason for that is to make sure we have to dehorn these animals as few times as possible. Now, generally, you can work on about a kg a year in terms of regrowth. So a kg is 2.2 pounds, about 2.2 pounds of growth per year. Exactly, Jake. That's why we plug their ears. Roland, excellent question. It smells almost like burning keratin. If you had to burn hair, Obviously, a chainsaw is working at a very high speed, so it creates heat. So that's the best description of smelling. What it smells like would be like burning hair, but not quite. Libby, they actually wake up very, very quickly after dehorning. We'll be here for the wake up. So now Rian's doing some expert trimming work. And once the guys are finished, we'll get a bit closer and have a look. Obviously, we don't want to stay away from a chainsaw. Bobby, a lot of people are saying this is incredible teamwork. It is. So the other four are not far away. We've got a fixed wing, which is a small aeroplane up in the air that's keeping an eye on the other four while the chopper's on the ground. So as soon as we finish with the dehorning here, we can jump immediately to go do the next one of the 5. Barbara, indeed. They do need to be placed a certain way, particularly with dehorning. You don't want them lying on their side, you want them lying on their chest, and you've got to be careful about how their legs are so that circulation stays good. Now, one thing that is really good today is that it's really, really cool. So normally if it was a normal low-pulse summer day and quite hot, we'd be worried about them overheating, and we carry water with us, and there'd be lots of water being poured onto them. Jeremy, there has been records of poachers poaching dehorned rhinos in populations where you've got both dehorned and horned rhinos, because what it does is it stops them from wasting time tracking. But touch wood, we haven't had an incident in this reserve in over 10 years. But it's by constant vigilance. Dehorning is not the only solution. It's vigilance, presence, anti-poaching, patrols, boots on the ground. Rhino Revolution has horseback patrols as well, combined with dehorning.
So yeah, thank you so much guys for watching this video. It is really not something easy to look at. I'm sure a lot of you guys found it hard to watch this animal being put in through this kind of experience. But this is what we have to do now. This is what it got to now, that we have to do this to protect the species. But I think what we have to focus now is to protect the rhinos that's left on Earth now with us, and then do the best we can do to protect them. And we still believe that we can maybe still win this game. So hopefully we will keep doing what we believe and keep spreading the words, keep doing the conservation funds into the right direction to make this kind of operation possible. And hopefully, poaching will get less and less in the near future. But thank you so much, guys, once again for those who funded this. And I want to say thank you to the Red Ranger sponsors, and I want to say thank you to Anton and Pridelands, and also Eco Training in Boston, and Stringback family in Risproit. And thank you so much to you guys that's watching us now. And thank you from me and Dylan and Brent and Brian and Wium and Charles. I'm forgetting someone, Dean. There you go. Thank you so much, guys, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.